This is a review of the syllabus, so we don't have to do it in class. You are in general chemistry. This is winter term 2017. I just found a typo. These should not say PM. They should say AM. AM. So everybody comes to lecture on Tuesday and Thursday from 8:30 in the morning till 10:20 in the morning. Then you either stay on Tuesday or you stay on Thursday for your lab right after class from 10:30 to 1:20 p.m. These are tutor times. You can find me if you have questions, or you can ask me to meet some other time and we can work something out. There's my phone number. I'm never at that phone, so calling it, you'll just leave a voicemail I'll probably never get. Here's my email. My office that I'm also never in, and then you're going to need to go to MyCGCC to log on to Moodle and to check grades and things like that on your MyCGCC. The book, what I've been doing this year is I switched to a new textbook, and the textbook is fully free, online, open source, and there's the website you can get the textbook at. It's a PDF. If you prefer, you can get the textbook out of the bookstore. I can't remember how much it is. It's bright orange and says chemistry on the front of it. You're going to need a scientific calculator. A scientific calculator is going to have something that's got 10 to the X or an E or an EE key or maybe an EXP key. It needs all of these things. Your calculator needs one of these things so it can handle numbers like 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Which would be a 6, and it's, let's get rid of that. A 602, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Total digits. So obviously a regular calculator isn't going to be able to handle that. So it doesn't need to be anything fancy. You can pick one up for like $5. I think it's a TI-25X. It's solar powered and it does everything you need. Or, if you're going to use like a TI-89 or something like that, of course, that's going to be able to work for us. The course description for this is somebody who hasn't really taken chemistry before. And we're going to talk about basically just some high school algebra. Actually, the algebra that we're going to talk about in this class is mostly algebra from middle school. Logarithms and some scientific notation. The objectives. So we're going to talk about chemical theory, the phenomenon, how it's impacted your everyday life. If you don't think chemistry has impacted your everyday life, I'm glad you're in this class. Applying critical thinking skills is what this class is about. The most important thing you can get out of this class isn't memorizing the elements on the periodic table, but giving a situation, using tools to determine how to solve the situation. Remember all that math that you learned in middle school and high school, and you were wondering when you were ever going to use it? Now, you're going to use it now. So be happy that you actually did do it, because there's going to be a lot of problem solving. This is nothing but word problems, because that's what life is, word problems. Communicate complex scientific concepts reasonably effectively, both orally and through written communication. If you cannot communicate what you did, then nobody knows what you did, and you basically didn't do anything. So you're going to need to be able to produce lab reports and other ways of disseminating what you have done. Definitely going to have to work with people. There's going to be no solos for labs. We don't have enough equipment, and that's just not how life works. So if you don't like people, sorry. And one of the most important portions of this class is to critically evaluate sources of scientific information. Facebook, not a source. Never a source. Here's the college's mission statement. There's add drop policy. Don't cheat. Here's some campus resources for you. Anybody has a disability, come talk to me. Give me the piece of paper that they gave you at Student Services for the accommodations if you need extra time on an exam or a room with no noise or something of that nature. Don't discriminate. The flexibility statement we're very aware of since we missed the first 2 weeks of class because of snow and rain. There are the grades, just normal percentages. Every point in this class is worth the same as every other point in this class. So earn as many points as you can. We're going to have a homework assignment for every day we've got class. Obviously, we've had some troubles these first 2 weeks, but you'll print the homework assignments off. I'll create the homework assignments after class. You'll print it off. I want you to print 2 copies off. You're going to print the 2 copies off. You're going to fill one out. You're going to bring both of them to class. As soon as you get to class, turn your homework in that you completed and then hold on to the blank copy. I'm going to go over the homework assignment right there in class, and then you will have a copy of what the homework should have looked like, so you know exactly how to do that problem. We'll have 3 exams. They're cumulative. They'll cover about a third each of the content, but stuff we've learned for the first exam will be directly applicable to the second and third exams, so you can't forget anything. You can't do algebra if you can't remember how to add and subtract, so it's the same kind of thing with chem. Labs, need to make sure that you do those in blue or black ink, and end up dropping your lowest lab score. There isn't really a way to make up labs for this class because there's too many other groups and we don't have another section. The paper, so here's the information you need for a paper, about 600 plus or minus 50 words. On another sheet of paper, I need 3 sources, MLA formatted. If you don't know what that is, come talk to me. Participation points, this is what you've been doing with Moodle, with asking a question and answering a question for the textbook end of the chapter questions. And the quizzes, eventually, as soon as we have a class, we'll have questions on Moodle that you'll be taking over the weekend. There'll be mostly multiple choice questions that get pulled out of a test bank. Lab rules. Definitely tell me about anything that's happened. We're going to have to wear eye protection whenever we're working with any of the chemicals. And you cannot wear contacts. If you wear contacts, you're going to have to wear your glasses because gases get trapped in between your contact lenses and the surface of your eye, giving you almost a cataract-like problem with your corneas. So no contacts. I'll show you where all the fire extinguishers and all the other equipment is in the room. If you've got some chemical, you need to definitely talk to me before you just dump it down the drain. There's probably a place for it. No practical joking whatsoever in class. And this is the most important thing for this. Make sure what you have is what you want. What you want is what you have. You need to make sure that if you're dumping 2 things together, that you're dumping the correct 2 things together. Because if you make a mistake and dump 2 incorrect things together, that little test tube you have might just turn into a little test tube hand grenade. So we're going to talk about chemistry and matter and measurements, and then we're going to talk about atoms and molecules. The Friday is the first day you can withdraw from the class and get your money back. I'm guessing they changed that to this Friday. And we're going to have to adjust the dates on the exams, obviously, because of missing the first 2 classes. Again, you'll have a quiz every weekend. We have homework every single day that you come to class. We're going to be going over that homework. So then we're going to do moles and concentrations and stoichiometry, and then we'll do thermal chemistry and gases, and then we'll have the final exam on the 23rd, which is the last day of class. There will be no labs that week. We'll just concentrate on that final, and then the term's over and you have spring break. And that's it. If you have any questions, ask me when we get to class, or I guess you can respond to this.